Loretta Sanchez. She is a Democrat from California, but also a member of the Homeland Security and Armed Services Committee. Always good to see you, Congresswoman. Good morning.
Thank you, Chris. It's great to be with the viewers today.
The whole idea that this might have been a much larger cell who could be responsible both for what happened in Paris and the devastation that we saw here yesterday in Brussels. What are you hearing?
Well, a lot of the information that we now have, I'm really not allowed to release out into the public. I'm sure that our Department of Homeland Security and others will at some point release some of the information. I will tell you this. There are links. We have seen aggressive chatter over time with respect to Europe and even some worrisome stuff here in the United States, and our Department of Homeland Security has been right on top of it. We can't stop everything, but as usual, we have really followed up on some leads. And the problem that we saw in Brussels is really a multitude, if you will, a quilt of different law enforcement. And some of the laws that are there don't necessarily mean that they can talk to each other. Something that we found out on 9/11, and we changed our laws so that our law enforcement at the local level could talk to the feds, etc. So there are things that can be done to make it less likely that this will happen.
Obviously, 9/11, Congresswoman, didn't just change the law, it changed our lives. Anybody who goes to an airport sees that. But here you have a situation where they maybe can't get through security, so it detonates in a very crowded place just outside of that security in the airport. What do you say to your constituents who, in the aftermath of an attack like we saw in Paris or like we see in Brussels, are worried about soft targets?
Yeah, well, in fact, you know, we have hardened our airports. Anyone who goes can see that. But here's the thing, just as we saw in LAX, even before 9/11, I believe, where we had a bomb and a shooter go off outside of the hardened area. So any place that you're going to have a bottleneck of many people in line, many people trying to get into something, always of concern to us. The number one thing that Americans can do, and we've said it over and over, is take a look at what is happening around you. Be cognizant of what people are doing. Let's go back to the Boston Marathon, where people brought in, left something, and walked away. The unfortunate thing, especially in what we're seeing in Europe, is that people are willing to bring the backpack in with them, the piece of baggage in with them, and die with it. It goes back to some of the intelligence sharing that we are trying to get done with different agencies.
Let me ask you very quickly, we're almost out of time, but this has become the topic on the campaign trail, and rightfully so. The American people want to know what the next president might do. But I just wonder what your reaction is when you hear some of the statements that have been made, for example, about waterboarding Abdeslam or stopping the flow of Muslims into the United States.
Well, as you know, I probably represents the second largest Muslim population in the United States in Orange County, California. They have actively worked with us to ensure that anything that is going on in their community is reported and ferreted out. I would tell Americans, we need that community. We need those Americans to help us. We will never stop what is happening unless our Muslim American community is with us, helping us. We cannot isolate them. We cannot say your parent cannot come here for a visit. That is just wrong.